Welcome to the Geek Church podcast. I'm your host, Jared, and if you can't tell by the sound or the scenery, I'm recording this mobile outside of my house. I'm going to be going away for a youth convention, and I wanted to get this first podcast started so it doesn't get delayed, because I just changed over an old youth podcast over to Geek Church, and so I'm sure some people can get notifications and whatnot, and I want to get an episode up as soon as possible. So I'm going to do a quick little introduction episode. So what the Geek Church podcast is going to be is it's going to essentially be what Geek Church was back in the day with me and Jeff, for the most part. It would be slightly modified. It's going to be me and co-host, or guest, I should say, talking about a different comic, movie, or video game, and of course the spiritual implications, the spiritual side of it. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I am going to add some little other segments, like some news and some what I'm currently reading, playing, watching, content I'm working on for the Geek Church channel. So you'll get little spoilers of stuff that's coming up, and some behind the scenes maybe of working on that kind of stuff as well. So there'll definitely be some bonuses for being a podcast subscriber. As much as possible, there'll be video along with the audio, and it'll go to both the YouTube channel under a podcast section. It'll go Spotify, will have the video, and then everywhere else the Anchor sends it out, it'll send out the audio only version. So if you're listening to this, just know there's a video version available. You can go over to find Geek Church on YouTube, or if you're listening on Spotify, they have the video version. And then everywhere else, Apple and Stitcher and Google and everywhere else, it should be the audio version. There will be times where I have to record an audio only version, and I will just probably throw a graphic up for the video audience. So that, I apologize when that ever happens. I thought I liked this, maybe I don't. Anyways, see, if you're not in the video version, I was fixing something in my hair. So what else? There's one other thing I was going to say. Oh yeah, I will try to record as many of these as possible in the studio with my nice podcast microphone. But again, I want to bring these to you as much as possible, 2, 3, 4 times a week. So there will be a lot of them where I just grab my phone and record, and hopefully in better environments, typically than out in my front yard. So it typically won't have this much background noise. So yeah, that's a little bit of an update for this episode. I will say one quick thing as far as what I've been reading. I won't go into anything specific, but I've been loving reading comics on my Kindle. I got a Kindle a few months ago, and I've been using it for books and then also listen to audiobooks. And I didn't think I'd ever, because it's black and white, so I didn't think I'd ever read any comics on it. And I was like, hey, I can read some manga, and manga, as my daughter corrects me. I haven't really ever, that would be good on there, or like some Eastman Curtis era Ninja Turtle type stuff. But I've actually just been reading. I started with Invincible because I've been wanting to get back into it and do some reviews and stuff. And it looks great. It's black and white, but it's fine. So I'm going to be really using a lot of that. It's why I think reading it in black and white grayscale on my Kindle is far superior experience than reading it in color on my phone. So that's going to allow me to get really heavily back into some of the comic review stuff. That and the fact that streaming services now, we own almost every single one of them. So, all right, that's it for this little update episode. I will see you on the next full episode of Geek Church the podcast. Or no, the Geek Church podcast.